Is there anything else, Craig, Alex, for SDFC?
For me, not for SDFC, no. And I know you guys later are going to be talking Wave, but I was just looking through my notebook. I can't believe, and Abe, maybe you've got better numbers than me, the number of points that Wave have allowed by giving up a goal specifically in stoppage time. I want to say that it's the 4th or 5th stoppage time goal they've allowed this year, and it's probably an order of points equal to them being in second place in the league.
Yeah, I would believe that. I haven't done too much on stoppage time goals, but I've just been focusing on this 7-game stretch. Like 5 losses in 7 games is really poor. Probably the worst stretch in their history. Last time this Wave team went winless through their last 7, Casey Stoney got fired. And I think that was probably the wrong decision at the time. And I think it would be a bad decision to do that now, but it's just important to recognize that that's where this team is at right now. And they were in second place at the international break. It's crazy.
Here's what I have. May, and this is just the home matches. So keep in mind, we've got the stoppage time goal they just allowed at Washington. So you'd have to check the road matches. But May 10th, Portland's Jaden Perry scores on a penalty kick in the 97th minute. Turns 1-0 San Diego into a 1-1 tie. That's 2 points dropped. May 25th is the last time the Wave won.
Wow.
June 6th, Seattle Reign, Emery Adames. This is the 88th minute, but still, she scores in the 88th minute, turns a 1-1 draw into 2-1 Seattle. That's 2 more points conceded. That's 4. Let's see. July 12th, Utah Royals, Amani Dorsey scores in the 94th minute. 1-0 San Diego turns into a 1-1 tie. And that's 6 more points dropped. And then on August 9th, Angel City FC, Alana Kennedy scores in the 92nd minute. 1-0 San Diego turns into a 1-1 tie. So I've got us at 10 points conceded, adding in Washington Spirit in stoppage time. All the other games recently, we haven't scored goals, so we haven't been able to give up late goals. But that's 10 points, man.
That's not good.
And we're supposed to have the best. Sorry in advance. We're supposed to have the best goalkeeper. And we've given up 5 different games in stoppage.
Yep.
That's really, 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 really hard to overcome. That's not an offensive issue for San Diego Wave FC. And all of the talk is offense, and I get it. It's deserved. But what about that? That's 10 points. That's home playoff money. That's home playoff money for San Diego Wave FC. Maybe 2 rounds. What's 10 points give him in the standings, Abe?
3rd place.
Ooh,
where they were.
Yeah, where they were. Yeah.
Right? I mean, 10 points. It's insane. It's insane, and it's the dark little secret. Oh, by the way, they give up some of those goals. I know them. Some of those, you know them, Tony. Some of those goals were bad goals.
Terrible.
Missed punch outs. This one was just lost in space. God bless it. It was a bad play. Like literal panic moments in the stoppage time. That 10 points.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I think part of it's just
there's your Wave Wednesday. Stitch that into your Wave Wednesday there, Sanchez.
This will be part of it. If there's anything San Diego FC, if there's not, here, you're part of it. And it, again, third time, you hear it, and you hear your own voice, Craig.
Oh,
so how does the Wave FC intro hit? I changed it. I forgot.
Yeah,
Your voice is
it's
very
sort of nice. I mean, that one's good. That's good.
I think this is like partly just a symptom of Jonas Jonas ball. Like Trinity Armstrong has been going up as the 9 in so many of these games late, and that's just like that's your center back who's a young player too, and who's been pretty good defense. Like it's so weird right now. Like what is happening?
But
on
it's a
defense?
rebuild year. It's a rebuild year. This is
Hang on. How many of those 10 points do we recapture if number 4 is at center back?
Hmm.
Number
Interesting.
4.
Gurma.
Number from Gurma, Naomi Gurma.
Yeah.
She was on this
Mhm.
team. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah.
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 Remember?
Yeah, her jersey still hangs in my closet, you know, like the best center back in the world. Like this is the first time I've really thought about it in that way. But because there's at the beginning of the year, it felt like, oh, they distributed that money so well. They got so many different contributors along the way, you know, but let's be square about it. Like Gia Corley had a good start to the season, but honestly, her contributions have been few and far between ever since match day 3 of the NWSL season. Adriana Leon has not had the speed or the good first touch to really be that 9 for San Diego, and she has not created the goals. A couple happened early, and those happened as being on the back post, you know, knocking in a rebound. It wasn't really about being able to create and have that good touch. So some of that money evaporated, but we had great play early from the young, you know, and Trinity in the middle, but the numbers are what they are. Those late concessions are what might keep this club / will keep this club, unless they get their act together, out of the playoffs altogether. And what a disappointment after how good they were before the international break. 7-3-3.
They got figured out. Cascarino was, you know, crucial. They figured out let's isolate her and Alex, again, at any point if you want to, you know, enjoy the rest of your night too, or stick around, that's fine as well as you, Craig. But yeah, no, hardcore wave now, because this is it's sad. And I don't like and enjoy sitting there watching this team that I saw a couple months ago really have that promise. Gia Corley, like, wow, this is going to be a revelation. This young German player, dynamic. And, you know, we were forgetting about Jaden Shaw until she, you know, reminded SanDiego FC of who she was to your face. But yeah, there's a lot of just pieces, and they're not working as a collective anymore right now. And I think that's the biggest thing, that collectively, San Diego Wave as a team is just not good. They have these bits and pieces throughout the year. Cami has been throwing Dudiña. You have a Colombian center back that sometimes plays 3 minutes at the end of the game when you need an attack. But let's go ahead and give Daniela Arias these minutes here. You have just, you know, Ascanio, who's really haven't found her place and just role in this team. Like, she's good. You just know she's good, and she's going to do her best with the ball and is very important. But what is her role? Like, there's not a defined place for her in this team except for on the field. And then you have Kenza Dolly trying to just stitch everything together. Pearl Maroney in the back having a great game. You know, did get accused by Trinity Rodman. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that
on
too.
Instagram.
But that's good. That's good for Pearl Maroney, just to be a stick in the side of one of the best players in the women's soccer right now. It just speaks to how good Pearl Maroney was in this game, but it's just not been good at all levels, like you said. Like, no, there's a little connection throughout the team, and I think the only thing that was truly holding them together, and they even hinted at this in a talk with Jonas Eidevall on the broadcast, that Maria Sanchez leaving this team had a major impact on the way things are working. There's just not a lot of crosses into the box coming in from the left side, which is exactly what Maria Sanchez did. She was friends with all the young players too. She would host these foot tennis things before all these games, all these practices. They would all play foot tennis like 15 minutes before, all having fun. They don't do that anymore without Maria Sanchez. It doesn't from what I've seen when I do go to the trainings, it seems a lot more business-like than it does seem team-like than it was at the beginning of the season. Part of that's just because they haven't been winning,
Mhm.
and part
Right.
of that might just be that the whole team dynamic switched.
Shawn Michaels said it once, and I think this is happening with San Diego Wave. Is they lost their smile.
Whoa.
Their smile.
Well, you know,
They
I
kinda-
love this club, and I also just for if in case anyone doesn't know, I am an independent contractor with the Waves. So, you know, I've been there for 4 seasons, so I'm not going to be like trashing the Wave. It some people feel in America in 2025 that facts have opinions. Like 10 points conceded on 5 goals in stoppage time is just a fact. That's a sad fact, and figuring out why should be right at the top of the plate, you know, for Jonas and for Camille. You know, like it should be at the top of the plate. What's going on there? Because for all the issues the offense has had since Maria Sanchez has left, if they had held those 1-0 leads in 3 different home matches this summer, then it doesn't matter as much. You know, maybe it hurts their championship pedigree, but they're going to be firmly in the playoffs, and they're probably going to have a home playoff match. So I just think there's still room for this club to get to where they want to go. And I thought this particular match, this is what kills me and just broke my heart about this match, is that it was so against the run of play for them to score.
Mhm.
Like, not only were they down 1-0, they were down 1-0, and then I mean, now you get this move, this run by Carusa, so positive right there to set, and then Cascarino, beautiful touch. But the 7 minutes before this were like 3 Trinity Rodman breakaways that Kaylin Sheridan made the saves on, and they weren't always the best shots, but still, like, you know, for all the stick that Kaylin gets for being out of position on that very last, you know, pop fly goal, she had stopped like 3 breakaways. She had made like 7 or 8 saves. It was ridiculous. They could have easily been down 5-0 when they got that goal if Kaylin was playing a below average match, but she played spectacularly first half, second half, stopped so many goals, and then for that to happen the way it did so late and to kill the point, that 1 point, as you know, Abe, was going to be a point that could really have kept them in the playoffs, and now they're probably going to be in the outside looking in, needing more tough points on the road.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They have 31 right now, 3-point lead over North Carolina, and then 4-point lead over Houston, and then Angel City's right now losing as we speak. And so it's gonna be a really tight thing. I still think honestly they probably stick in that 8 spot, just at least getting maybe 1 win or a draw, and they could probably still end up there. You're still gonna get smoked by Kansas City.
Yeah.
If you end up
Oh
in
my
that
gosh,
you're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get absolutely smoked by Kansas City. And Washington Spirit too. They just showed you how good they are, and you had probably a lucky game with Kaylin Sheridan making all those saves. XG wise, I'm sure it was very high in favor of Washington Spirit this game, and they just it's just not looking good right now. And I do think for the future they probably have some good pieces, but the rest of the league is getting so much better too. And everyone knows exactly what's coming. And
Yeah.
Jonas has shown little ideas of switching up the defense, like you said. Like if the defense is struggling so hard in these last few matches, why has Daniela Arias not seen significant minutes at all? It's nuts.
As a San Diego soccer fan, Alex, how do you stand on this San Diego Wave tailspin? Because you saw them
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, I watched this match, and it's really disappointing because I've been watching them from the beginning of the season, and they were doing really well in the standings, and now it's just they just keep sinking lower and lower, and it's almost like, well, they're on the brink of losing that final playoff spot, and you know, they really got to figure out the right combination here, really. I really don't know like what's going to be the best personnel, but and they got to figure it out because like yeah, the other teams are easily putting games away late in the match, and like how do you keep just losing points like at home on the road? It just kind of seems like it's the same thing almost each game, and yeah, man,
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't know what's gonna be right because I understand this was always gonna be a project, and it's probably still gonna be a project next season. Like this
Mhm.
is a rebuild project, and we look good in the first half of the schedule, and now we're really turning into a rebuild mode type of situation. And yeah, who's gonna really come in and bring it and put us over the top? I personally like. I really like Jaden Shaw. I love what she was doing, and now she's gone. She was sold. She's sent somewhere else, and yeah, and that part is still missing. So, um, yeah, like Wave, the brass at Wave, they gotta figure this out be the team that everybody loved at the very beginning, which was this like top of the table type of team, and now it's really looking like we're gonna miss out on the playoffs potentially. Hopefully not. I would love to see both teams in the playoffs.
Well, I
Yeah.
would too. Look, I'm probably I'll probably be bowing out. I really do love this Wave squad, and it breaks my heart. 1-5-4 over 10 matches, and since the international break, there's just been this slowness in the offense. It doesn't. It's this weird feeling of like they're in their 11th month practicing together, and it feels like they just met.
Yeah.
Sometimes in terms of like, oh, you're supposed to be there. Wait, I'm supposed to do what? There's always this hesitation,
Mhm.
and then balls put into spots that just don't like make sense structurally, where you're like, why would you put it there? Your teammates over here, and they're running this way. Why would you do it? Why would you do that? And that just seems to happen like really regularly, far more than I thought. Because early in the year, the attack was very dynamic. It was goal scorers all over the place and multiple goal games, and it can't just be Maria Sanchez. I mean, she's a part of it. She had an okay year, but she wasn't like dominating and breaking down every game. If I was going to say anyone was doing that, it was Cascarino.
Mhm.
She was the one who was dominating and breaking down games. But the last thing I would say is, everyone remembers that beautiful Armstrong header on a corner kick to win a game at the death and stoppage time back in, I think it was May, or could have even been April. I feel like every corner kick since has been played short.
Oh yeah.
What the hell?
It's a prefabricated
Th-
play every time.
I asked Jonas Eidevall about this one time, and he said, "Well, it works better when we do it instead of this outswing." The math says it, and it's just every corner kick, every free kick. They even talked about it on the broadcast. It's so predictable. I think that's my issue more than it being ineffective, is that it's just predictable, and everyone knows. If we know it's coming, then every single other coach, every single other team knows they're gonna go short. Trinity Robbins gonna attack the ball like she did in this game. There's just no fear at all from set pieces.
The pace that breaks my heart of this game, after obviously just is this guy right here.
Yeah.
Just is like there's a shot here later that they cut back to him and see if they get him. It's just like telling everybody like focus, please, like just begging, pointing to his head like focus, please, for the love of God. That's all you have to do. Please do it. And the inevitable happened, and just behind the scenes, Abe and I, because again, it's predictable. We go back and forth. I'm like, are you going to be on the post match? Is it just going to be one of us awkwardly with Jonas? And we were fortunately both in there, but we're like, hey, we're going to have Jonas. Like, yes, he's jumping for joy. He's celebrating. And then it's quickly turned around, and, we all know what ended up happening. But
It's so brutal. It's just so absolutely brutal.
I saw that too. I saw him on the sideline, just so happy,
So
and
high, jumped so high he didn't know how to land. Like
yeah,
I got
Yeah.
worried for his knees a little bit. Not gonna lie.
He knew it was so stolen. It was just such a thief
stolen.
in the night moment. And he's like, yes, finally, all of this frustration. I get this. I've been dying for a break for so long. Look at the eyes, the pleading in his eyes when they show it. It's just a pleading for success.
Please,
Right. Look
please.
at that. Look
Fist
at that.
so balled up.
Oh my God. It's about the look my dog gives me before I scoop the dinner, you know? Like, am I it's unbelievable, and for it to end that way. I'm not down on Jonas. You know, there's a lot of young players on this team. Hopefully for Kennedy and Trinity, these are learning moments, and they become that tough defense. You know, because those are the two center backs, so they really need to take the blame. They're two young women who succeeded in college, you know, but it's not happening in the pros. They're giving up late goals. It's really ugly. So hopefully it's a learning moment along the way. But here's my last question. Trinity Byers. I've been thinking about her. The signee out of Texas, injured. Could she be an answer in the attack next year? Could that be the missing piece?
next year, I think she could. They got a lot of hype. Was generally consensus. Like would have been number 1 overall draft pick had the draft still existed. I've heard of that from a lot of different people in NWSL circles and also just college soccer circles. So it was kind of a bit of a coup for the Wave to get her, but they also got her after she had just torn her ACL. But technically they didn't call it a torn ACL, but it's just one of those. Shohei Ohtani didn't get
Body.
yeah,
Marcus and Marson.
elbow
Lower
injury,
body.
UCL surgery, but not Tommy John. But it's one of those things. She's been training with the team. She does the warm ups with the teams. She's still getting back to her health. I think there's a chance she could come on late in this. Well, it's already late in the season, but there's a chance.
We're out of time.
Yeah, but technically, maybe she could exist and be an option up front, but I wouldn't even try that at this point, just because that would throw such a wrench in things too. If like maybe you're rushing it too fast and she gets injured, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough. And then Savannah McCaskill being injured, we do not know for how long. Wave is pretty quiet and will not acknowledge that any injury is happening when you see Million Vatanas on
a scooter.
And with a boot. It's like, what's the status on her? Wait for official club communication. So it's just like, okay, well, everyone sees her with the boot, but
Early Halloween costume. She's really into it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so we have no idea when Savannah McCaskill would come back, and I think if she was in this game too, like that, Washington would not have had nearly as many chances just because of how good she is in the midfield defensively. But yeah, I think Trinity Byers could be an option up front, and then Maya Jones, I think, even looked good in 2024 at times. She could come back and from her loan and bring some interesting things. But
what about Fusco? Fusco turned up a couple games ago and was like really in the attack and exciting. And I was like, wait, hang on.
I completely agree. Coming out of Penn State, like when you sign these like short-term loan players or like international replacement players, usually it's not the greatest player, greatest talent level. They're kind of there to train with the team, but she looked really good in her 45 minutes at home the other day.
Yeah, just for context, last year one of those was the social media manager for San Diego Wave. So like again, that's the level of some of these international replacement players. So shout out San Diego Wave legend Emma Vanderheyden. Official player.
Love it.
You wore like number 27 too, like a cool number.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
That's amazing.
All right. Craig, Alex, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again,
you bet.
Let us know where they can find all the great work that you guys do outside of the CHROMANIACS. And you mention the CHROMANIACS every Thursdays here on SanDiego.Futbol and on Spreaker and everything that you love to hear. Craig and Alex?
Well, yeah, okay. I'll go. Padres Hot Tub, which had a name before that, really just finished our 10th season of coverage of San Diego Padres baseball on the podcast. Patreon community over 600 people deep, heading into an off season that could be either quiet or incredibly eventful, depending on what decisions are made. The next couple 3 weeks. So, we just announced today on the show the launch of a new off-season podcast just for patrons. So you can find out about all of that at patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. I would also mention we'll be recording a new episode tomorrow, Crossing Streams, my television streaming podcast.
Ooh.
There it is for the viewers, with myself and Chris Reed taking on the first 5 episodes of Task, which is the latest Sunday Prestige HBO show. So you can check that out as well. Please do. We did that show very religiously for about 4 years and then set it aside for a little over a year. And then Chris and I have been back at it for the last 3 months or so. So please go check that out. It's always a source of discussion of the best shows of the year. So, if you're just looking for good things to watch, you can always find that on the Crossing Streams feed. And, depending on what I hear on tomorrow's conference call, we may have a new episode of Soccer's Overtime this week.
Oof, that's going to be
with me and Tony.
Very interesting. I'm actually looking forward to learning. That's what I'll name it now.
The new streamlined MASL. Leaner, meaner, fitter. Fighting trim.
Not in Spanish though.
Not in Spanish. Absolutely not. Get out of here with that.
Missing a certain, 3-time champion dominant force. It's like just omitting the Dodgers. Could you imagine? MLB went to the winter meetings, was like, listen, Dodgers, you're good, but we've got new rules and your stadium doesn't fit specs.
And you have a month to fix it.
Yeah, and your broadcast needs work. Joe Davis has to be gone, or else you're out of the National League. Well, no, you can stay in the National League. You just can't be in the playoffs. You can't host any playoff games.
It's like, hey, that guy Vin Scully, you guys should bring him back. Like, then we'll talk.
Right? What would the Dodgers do? I mean, they can't go play themselves, but Chihuahua has decided they will, in fact, maybe find a different league.
Well, the Phillies did. They drew 31,000 fans and played themselves. So maybe that's Alex.
All right.
Just catch me on Chromatic FC. I'll usually write stuff, recaps and previews. I might write something this week about the team, even though we're in international break. So catch me there. Catch me on Blue Sky. Who knows, Alex, if you want to talk some footy. And my last question for you guys: how can the Wave salvage their season as things are spiraling out of control and they're trying to still make playoffs with 3 matches to go? I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, me too. I'll hang up too.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the call, caller. We love callers. We have our phone line.
We actually have a phone
619.
line use, but
I know.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining. You pack it up and you leave. That's
how you answer. That's
you
your
just
answer?
put your hand on top of the deck like in Yu-Gi-Oh, and you just surrender. Don't show up for your fan appreciation night.
Oh, do it again.
Yeah,
back to
just
back
do it again.
years.
It's tradition. Like why?
Oh.
Why at this point? Like right? Like do you really appreciate your fans that much? I will say SanDiego Wave does. I think has better giveaways this year.
Oh, dude, I think they've
giveaways are
had
pretty
pretty
good.
cool.
But in any case, it also might be because whenever they're in legal.
Oh, there's a freaking another lawsuit, man.
No, literally, I was waiting for Craig to leave because again, I don't know. I don't want to bring that up.
Yeah.
when we have a independent contract.
First to answer the question.
Yes.
I think it's simple. What have we said?
We
Past,
kill the Batman.
They need to score goals, and it's the dumbest thing to say. Do I believe that they can do that? Maybe, probably not. It's hard. The other teams know exactly what's coming, and you haven't really shown a different dynamic, so gonna be tough. But just score goals. I think Craig makes a great point with just being good defensively at the end of games. But that's like blaming the starting pitching when you can't get a hit. Sorry, that's a sore subject right now, but
let's hear.
Yeah, I think we should hear from Kira Kursa and Jonas Eidevall, who they had some interesting answers. They still are so like, I think what I think is the most just like that could give you hope if you're if you're anyone watching this is how much the Wave players and coach believe still in everything. I was thinking back to the last 7-match win the streak the team had. They were just kind of lost.
Yeah.
Every player had something kind of different to say, and it was all just pretty much saying like, yeah, we got to be better. But they're still just so confident.
They
and
believe,
and
they believe that they can win.
Yeah.
Score more than the other team. That's the key. Yes.
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 Wow.
Simple. That's John Madden.
I hate that freaking my analysis for that. Score goals. That's how you win. But
all right, let's hear from Kira Caruso, who again, you and I were waiting. We're just like,
who are we talking to? Yeah.
Who are we talking to? Like who drew the short end of the stick?
If before this, I would have think, okay, Kaylin Sheridan's a great person to talk to right now. She just came back from having her child and had a pretty solid game. She's done great. So she made so many different saves, so many one-on-one chances. Player of the match. By far. Player of the match. And then you have the end of the game where she definitely mistimed that cross, was out of position, but also the defensive line was a little bit ahead. She kind of pulled her out of her line. So it's on her, but also kind of just on the entire defense. But right, yeah, sorry. Let's listen to Kira Caruso.
If we want to start with, do you have one in person that you want to kick it off with? Or if not, I can have them go online. Okay. Tony, go ahead.
Thank you for your time, Kira. Could you go ahead and, first of all, walk us through that play that ended up tying up that goal and just the emotional side of the game aspect towards the end of obviously the result and performance as well?
We start with the goal. So, I mean, you're away. It's a mid-game, a midday game in DC. It's one of the more difficult places to play. And coming off the first half and going down early, it's important as a team to like keep that fire, keep that culture within us, keep that fight to go and score. And I think that leading through that second half, there was a lot of fight that was kind of a manifestation of that goal. You have Delphine, who is back and healthy for us and making such a clinical run, and one that, you would run every day in training, and just so important to put that ball in the back of the net and just kind of show that grind and that grit that we were showing all game, that it comes with the result from it. Yeah. So what was the second question?
Yeah, if you can just obviously take us through that moment and then pause, and then after the game winner for Washington and just the emotion and duality of those two.
Yeah. I mean, that is football for you. It's just don't love it when it happens back to back like that so quickly. I mean, again, a game is a referee calls a game when they call a game. It's so important to play through the final whistle. We know this. It's just there's not much you can do with a situation like that. I think that it really doesn't reflect the grind and the kind of, grit that we had to like go and pull ourselves back up and get us back into that game. And it's heart-wrenching to, feel that one. That one hurts.
And then lastly, in these tough moments, what is the message from Jonas to the team? And then is there any separate message or anything different messaging within the players, each other?
Yeah, I think as a collective from Jonas and from the players, it's a moment to recognize that, again, like I'd said before, the variables in which we came out there and fought for, it's the final minute of that, or the final second of that game, doesn't discard or discredit all of that leading up to that, and what we're really fighting for and what we're still fighting for. And I think that's a strong message from Jonas and from the team. I'd say, I know, after the game, I look at a player like Kimmy and I looked at her and I just said, a year ago, the game you put out here today, you wouldn't be able to do that a year ago. And you have to remember that everything that you did and the way you played the fight, the way you were brave to get the ball, you come out to DC and play a 1:00 game and late in the season like this in October. and you grind like you do, like that's a Kimi today that can do that. And that there will be a moment in which we reflect back on this and we say, you know what, like we had moments like this to have great moments like that. And we have to believe in that. And I think that's a sentiment felt from Jonas and from the team.
Thank you so much. Safe travels.
Yeah, thank you.
Abraham, did you have one, or we can go to in person?
Yeah, thank you for the time, Kira. You know, you mentioned fight and grit, and through seven tough results, how does this team maintain that mentality of wanting to still grind out these matches?
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And I think that's sports for you. And the reality is that that's our purpose right now. That's what we have to give that is the barrier of entry to win something in this league. And that just goes to a testament to how difficult this league is week in and week out. But at the same time, it's also a testament to how quickly tides can turn and things change and momentum is lost and momentum is got. And I think that having, going out and seeing these players every day and being a part of this program, it's inevitable that it goes our way. It comes for us. And like, that is what you have to believe in. Again, I believe that's the barrier of entry. Like if you're out on the pitch and you're out on the training field and you don't think like that, then what are you doing out there? And that's the biggest thing for us, is that we every single one of us continue to remind ourselves, like, it's a difficult league, but that is just the wind goes your way just as much of it as it doesn't.
Kira Carusa, attacker, assister today, or this last weekend for Cascarino.
And that's a good answer, I think.
Great answers.
Yeah, great answers.
Good
And
questions too. How do you guys smile through the pain? You guys, how do you keep trucking after
Sports
such misery?
And I guess it makes sense. Sports are tough, and like her answer on Kimi Ascanio and giving that advice to Kimi is just great answer and a great mentality to have, especially with such a young team, young players around you, to be able to say that to someone, especially when you're just like lose like that. I imagine the emotions are just like so tough for all these players. Like, how quiet was that plane ride or bus ride back? Just like, ooh. I saw a lot of them like were just around DC the night before too. They were all just like posting from stuff from the National Mall, the Lincoln Memorials, and things of that nature. Technically, they couldn't go to any museums, which is kind of sad.
Because the government shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was planning on going to a national park this next weekend.
Well, they're free.
Well, technically they closed.
Well,
So some of them have gates in front of them, and then you won't be able to go in.
technically, this is America. Is what we're getting to understand. Also, all museums and knowledge being locked down. That's cute. That's kind of appropriate.
That exists? Knowledge? Museum?
No, it's there.
Okay.
You just gotta.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Distraction. Yeah.
soccer.
Kira Carusa. Solid answers. Tough results. I don't know what else.
But the person that I was kind of twiddling my thumbs about, like, okay, what is this going to be like? What is this going to be like? Was Jonas Eidevall.
For hanging around, Tony.
No, not really.
Yes, thank you. Jonas, thank you for your time. Could you take me through this matchup and just obviously the duality there towards the end of emotions and play, and how do you take this match today?
Sure. We're playing against a strong, tough opponent. I think they go into these games 10 games unbeaten. Now they're 11 games. So they're definitely been one of the stronger teams in the league here during the fall, and especially at home, they're very strong. I think we definitely don't start the game as we want to do it. We are to give too much space in our defense. We don't move the ball quick and crisp enough, and the goal is a result of that. But there are also other parts in the first half that we can do better. I think one thing that the players do really well is they show a lot of heart out there, especially in the second half. But even in the second half, we're we're poor in the decision making a couple of times, which leads to big transition moments for them. And there's really only one reason why we're still in the game, and that's Kaylin Sheridan, who's making some really big saves and big plays for us. And that's really pleasing for me, is we keep believing and trying to find a way, and we score when we tie up the game in extra time. And of course, at that point, it's a result that we're really happy with, and we have fought a lot to get that result as well. And therefore, it's of course complete heartbreak to concede the second goal on the last kick of the game in the manner that we do it as well. So from an emotional perspective, that's of course really, really tough for us to take. And I think we all feel pretty drained after the game. But the important thing for us is to stay together here now. We have a really important game against Utah next weekend. If there's one thing we can't do is to dwell on mistakes. And we win together, we lose together. And said that to Kaylin after the game as well. I think she was the reason that we could still be in the game, that we can tie up the game. I think she did some incredible saves, some incredible big plays. And that's what we need to take with us. And it was also really good to have Delph back. Of course, both scoring a goal, but also being able to get minutes after her injury, and can build on that up till next week.
I'm gonna pause you. There's a
Jonas Eidevall, drained, just defeated. A lot of
They were defeated.
literally defeated, but
Yeah.
just like emotionally beat down. Like everything was like
As we said, heartbreaking. I think you said, or when you lose, it's like that. Yeah, just
who has to eat the accountability meal for that game? I mean, the team. It's a collective, right? Like that's the thing. There is no team in San Diego Wave. There's a lot of individuals playing all right, but there's not a team aspect. Kaylin Sheridan doing the best that she can, and obviously being part of the, if not the biggest reason why that game-winning goal goes in for Washington.
it could have been like a 3-1 game. Like
Yeah.
if Delphine Couch couldn't have scored, it was 3-1, then it wouldn't look as bad. But
I was watching it and I accidentally threw my phone. Like not but it was just like
you dropped it.
like
You're
I just
oh
like
no way.
I was like oh my god, like I can't believe this. But that's what San Diego Wave is. They need to be each other's accountability buddies. There's no real accountability buddies on this team. It's just kind of Kenza dictating things, and again, give Kenza the captain's armband. But I mean, you were going to get at least one miserable point, and the soccer god said no, not for you.
Like I think that's that's proof that's definitely proof of the soccer gods, because Washington's like, oh man, we are pushing, you're pressing, you're moving, and then if that game was a draw, like you steal a point in DC with everything that's happening in DC right now. So many of the season ticket holders are like government workers too. I think that's
They
something.
gave 600 tickets, free tickets.
Yeah, so it's that's something cool that the Spirit does too, just for their community, and then for them to put on like a good performance. It's like, oh man, they're gonna, and then to tie, you're like, oh my god, soccer gods, cruel, how could they? And then they're like, we were just playing with you guys here.
So I'm currently like when I say knee, like my knees deep into EAFC, and my ultimate team is pretty all right. But this is one of these games on EAFC/FIFA where you're just like, this is not realistic. Like that game is one of these things where it's like, yeah, I tied, yeah, and then you end up losing the way that it went. And you're like, this isn't realistic. FIFA, it was blah blah blah. It was a video game. Actually, Trinity Rodman is part of my squad.
Yeah, she's great.
Rose Lavelle.
She's great. Oh, Rose Lavelle's great.
Put Swanson on the left
Swanson,
mid.
Hey.
Kenta Dolly's my center midfielder, but I'm kind of restructuring things. Debinya actually was in there too. So cool stuff. Ultimate Team. My San Diego FC Ultimate Team has started off, not Ultimate Team, my San Diego FC career mode is actually gone into chaos mode already, because immediately I bought Kevin De Bruyne.
Is that chaotic? I mean, there was so many rumors about it.
No, but I actually bought him
What do you think about the rumors of Tata Martino? Did you
to
hear about that?
LAFC.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tom Bogert kind of poo-pooed it, which I believe
Mhm.
Tom Bogert more than. But I mean, the idea of it sounds interesting.
on paper, yeah, it's interesting, and I mean,
Mexican coach, LAFC, like replacement. Steve Cherundolo, did he announce where he's going next?
Mm-mm.
No, he's just leaving.
he just said bye. Yeah. See, Philippe knows. Bet you can kick my ass at it though. All right. So San Diego Wave 2-1. They play against Utah. They have 3 games remaining in the season, regular season. Utah, Chicago Red Stars, and then Kansas City, or who they may play if they qualify into playoffs once again, back-to-back Kansas Cities.
That would be funny if it's like SDFC plays Portland back to
Mhm.
back to back to back, and then Wave plays Kansas City back to back.
That'd
But that's a very tough schedule. Utah, yes, playing
Play
very
back,
well.
yes.
Surprisingly too, because they sold. You know what I thought was interesting? You look at the standings, the NWSL standings right now. If you compare where what the Wave did at the transfer window, the international break, to what all the other teams did that are below them in the standing. Like it's very interesting because Utah, Ali Sentinor, that you sold her early on in the season, but still definitely a big sell. Angel City letting Alyssa Thompson go to Chelsea. They
Mhm.
end up trading Emma Vignola to Portland and getting Hina Sugita, who's good, but you don't need a midfielder. It's just weird. Like, yeah, Angel City's selling right now too. North Carolina, they sold Jaden Shaw. They fired their head coach in the middle of the season.
Utah did too, right?
Utah, I believe they got rid of their coach as well.
Yeah.
And they got rid of their best player, and they've been unbeaten through their last 7. And
It's incredible.
Yeah, Chicago's just been poor from the start of the season. No, Mallory Swanson's really changed everything, but like Portland being good without Sophia Wilson too has been surprising. But yeah, all these different teams sold at the deadline, at the transfer window, whatever. Wave, I don't think they sold, but they didn't. Well, they sold Maria Sanchez.
They got Dudinha.
But that's definitely not. Dudinha had a couple good moments, especially in that first half. I don't know if you.
Yeah, no, she did. She did.
She had some good dribbles, but then it's like, where's the pass? Where's the cross? No one in the middle.
No one to
Doesn't really
connect.
count. Doesn't really matter.
But yeah, NWSL 2025 has been quite a roller coaster ride. Indeed, it has.
It's
absolutely.
good though. Like Kansas City and Washington final will be good. That's how the finals can watch. Maybe Kansas City versus Gotham or something, but it's gonna be a good final.
Yeah. San Diego Wave will be nowhere near that.
If they are, then playoffs are dumb and sports are dumb.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, so we'll keep talking a little bit of San Diego Wave here in goals, gaffes, and greats. Prediction wise, by the way, San Diego FC, just to update everybody, Chiva is 1 point away from tying me, was it?
Let's see. In San Diego Wave predictions, I have 17 points. Tony has 14 points, and Chiva has 12 points. So he's 2 points away in the Wave predictions, which would mean you have to surf a wave, which is something that none of us have ever done, and it'd be in the cold Pacific Ocean, which
Scary.
I don't think a lot of us are looking forward to.
Mm.
And in the San Diego FC category, we got Abraham with 20 points, Tony with 13 points, and Alejandro Chiva Villaseñor with 12 points.
Creeping up.
1 point behind the powerful Tony Sanchez now. So it's going to be close. We're not going to reveal the predictions until next week because
Chiva's in Japan.
bye week.
Bye week, international week. So there's still time to predict. So this is going down to the wire.
It will be.
So
who will walk to Snapdragon Stadium?
It's
it will be close.
And
it will be. What did we say at the end of the beginning of next year?
Season,
yeah, beginning of next season.
First game, probably.
Yeah, first game.
Yikes.
That'll be
okay.
That'll be fun. Maybe make you walk to Coachella. How about that?
Fuck off. No, I'm not.
That'll be the
I'm
first
not
game.
My ancients, my ancestors who did that. Dudinha scoring winning goal and Haver scream for Papi Abe. I don't think papi is a word in
In
Portuguese.
Portuguese, no.
I would know. I asked her in Portuguese.
I am putting up Kansas City number there. Thank you, Philippe. I'm destroying these guys.
Oh, you're the Kansas City of predictions here this
Yeah.
year.
Technically, yeah. So technically, wave wise, I think I'm there. Chiva can still technically beat me if I get every prediction wrong and he gets every prediction exactly correct. Exacto, as I called it. But it's going to be tough. So Salt Lake versus San Diego Wave. What you got? Why did I say Salt
tie.
Lake? It
You-
says Salt Lake in this thing. Damn it.
It says
Chiva put that.
Utah. Yeah, Chiva doesn't know where he's at. He thinks he's in.
They're both technically in Salt Lake, but they're called the Utah Royals.
Yeah,
They share
well,
the same stadium.
like the Jazz. Give me a 0-0 tie.
Ugh.
I know that's I'm trying to go against the grain.
0-0 tie. Okay, we gotta ask him too. He didn't give us an answer,
Well-
so maybe we should just give him nothing.
I agree. He has until the end of this program, because he knows where it's at. The time is actually like 3:00 in Japan, so it's still daytime.
Yeah, I will be predicting.
Yes, yuck, Tony. Yeah. Why not? Why not? They scored their quota 1 goal per month already. Wave win 2-1, says playback. Okay.
I think we see I believe Utah's last result was a 2-2 draw against Chicago. I can see a 2-1 victory for San Diego. After everything we've all said, it needs to start going goals offense. So, I really think that Utah's been just on a weird run, and they're good. They've been performing well, but it's just not been the thing. And it's like if you ever need like a switch everything up and break a winless streak, it's got to be now. And Utah feels like a good opponent to do that against.
The time is here. The time is now for San Diego Wave.